So I just finished watching the season finale to Dexter New Blood, and to say that I have mixed feelings on it is putting it lightly. Now, before I get started on why I am feeling the way I'm feeling about this finale, I just want to say that if you enjoyed the season finale, if you felt satisfied with it, I'm very, very happy for you, and I genuinely mean that. In fact, I hope most people find this season finale more satisfying than not, because I would rather people enjoy something than be disappointed by something. But that being said, by the title of this video and by my tone, you can probably guess that I am very disappointed with this season finale and am not very satisfied with it at all. Now, before I get into that, since this is the first time I'm talking about Dexter on my channel, I kind of want to give my thoughts and opinions on the original series and the rest of this season that they have done. So, for starters, the original Dexter series is one of my favorite shows of all time, specifically the first 4 seasons. Now, those 4 seasons have given me some of the most amazing TV show experiences I've ever had. Now, a lot of people kind of shit on the next 4 seasons, specifically, 5, 6, 7, and 8. A lot of people say a lot of negative stuff. I'm someone that can find some enjoyment out of them, and it's just, I don't know, I've always been able to kind of pull stuff from it. But my God, do not get me started on the Deborah liking Dexter thing. Let's just not even go there. But I love the original Dexter. Have always had very mixed feelings on its ending. And yeah, so I was very excited when they announced that Dexter New Blood was going to be a thing. Like, oh my God, they get to redeem the original ending. That's amazing. So going into Dexter New Blood, it was definitely really exciting. And I really found myself enjoying a lot of this season. Specifically, I really enjoyed the first episode where, it's Jim Lindsay and kind of doesn't feel like Dexter, but it still feels like Dexter. And then he finally kills that guy at the end, Matt Caldwell. And all of a sudden you hear Dexter again, like, hello, Dexter Morgan. Like, that was awesome. It's like, oh my God, we have Dexter back. And, I really loved the introduction of Harrison in this new season. I loved the dynamic that him and Dexter had, although Harrison did get kind of annoying at points. It's just the constant aggression he has towards his dad. Yes, I understand that he's angry with his dad, but it did get a little annoying sometimes. I also really like that dynamic between Dexter and his dark passenger now, which is Deborah. I thought her being the little dark passenger on his shoulder was really cool, and it was a mix-up of it, other than, it used to be his dad. So I like that dynamic. I like the fact that they were able to bring Deborah back somehow in this show. As far as his conflict with Kirk Caldwell, I honestly really enjoyed their whole dynamic and how that whole thing went. Finding out just how crazy Kurt was, and at the end of the season, you find out that he's been putting his victims into these boxes that makes them look like dolls. It was awesome, and just seeing Dexter have this feud with him and them going back and forth and them outsmarting each other was really, really cool. Now, as for Angela, I do like her character. I like her actor. I like her storyline of, her best friend went missing and she's had this vendetta and really is trying to find out what happened to her and all these other girls that are going missing around town. That was really cool, but there is something that bothered me in this season where Angela just kind of conveniently finds things out, or information conveniently falls into her lap. And it didn't bother me that much at first, but it kept escalating and escalating to where it got kind of unbelievable and broke my suspension of disbelief. But whatever, kind of waved it aside because I was enjoying the rest of the show so much. But that did come back in the end for something I did not like with this season finale, which is why I bring it up. So, for the most part, I really did enjoy this season of Dexter, and it had its down moments, but I thought it was very entertaining how Dexter kills Kurt, how Dexter shows Harrison his code essentially, and what he is and what he's supposed to do. I liked all of that. But coming into this last episode, I was wondering how they were going to end it, because with the way the show was going, it didn't feel like this was going to be a final season. I honestly thought maybe they'd come out with another season or just make this a whole new series of Dexter, right? It just didn't feel like it was going to come to a natural conclusion, which I guess it did, but to varying results, right? Now, let's just get into this final episode, and specifically the finale of Dexter New Blood. Now, in this episode, we're right off the heels of Dexter killing Kurt. Dexter his house has burned down and all this stuff. And this is where that, conveniently, or information conveniently falls into Angela's lap, right? So she's investigating Dexter's burnt down house. And somehow, out of all the rubble, she happens to find the screw that was in Kirk Caldwell's son's leg, right? In the entire burnt house, she manages to pick it out of the ashes, just like nothing. There it is. I kind of didn't buy that, and the reason why I didn't buy it is because there's been so many things at this point that I've just been building and building and building. Like, really, you're gonna just find, okay, whatever, right? So fast forward a little bit. Dexter's saying that he's going to move with Harrison to LA. They're going to continue doing their work there because apparently you can't do it in a small town. Whatever. And it gets to the point where Dexter and Harrison are at Angela's house. I think they're about to eat dinner or something. And they send the kids away, and Angela pulls out her gun, and aims at Dexter. She says, "You're under arrest, motherfucker." And Dexter's like, holy shit, what's going on? There's even a point where Dexter looks at a couple of knives and sees her reflection in the little thing that holds the knives, the knife holder, and he almost starts reaching for it, and you're kind of like, what are you gonna do, Dexter? Are you gonna threaten Angela? I don't know about that. But as soon as that happens, what is his name? I'm forgetting his name. The other officer, he walks in through the door, and aims his gun at Dexter. Whatever, they take him to the police station. He's under arrest for the murder of Kirk Caldwell's son. Now, this is, up until this point, the episode has me, right? There's a little kind of stuff I'm not vibing with, but for the most part, I'm enjoying it. Angela comes at Dexter hard with, "I know that you killed Matt Caldwell." There we go. We have all this information. We have this note that says you killed him. We found this bolt at your house. And, I'm actually enjoying this. This is getting pretty tense. Holy shit, how's Dexter going to come out of this? And Dexter has this awesome explanation for Kurt essentially setting him up, right? And it sounds pretty believable. Logan, that's his name. Even Logan is like, if we go to court, this might make them doubt it. The whole story, right? So Dexter has a believable story going on, but Angela is not buying it for one moment. So fast forward a little bit. Dexter is in the jail cell, and Angela's like, motherfucker. She calls up Batista, which I didn't think we were going to see again. That's something I really liked earlier in the season when we saw Batista. That was awesome. She calls up Batista. She's like, yo, Dexter Morgan is still alive, and I think he may be the Bay Harbor Butcher or something like that. And you see Batista be like, holy shit, he's alive. And she sends him the picture of them, and Batista's like, okay, I'm gonna be there first thing tomorrow morning. We're gonna get his ass, right? And it makes you excited, holy shit, Dexter is going to be confronted by Batista inside of a freaking police precinct. And oh my god, this is something we wanted from the original ending of Dexter. Like, this is a confrontation we've wanted to see. Like, especially when Batista's like brings up LaGuerta, he brings up Deborah. Like, just thinking about that confrontation was so awesome. Which is why it's so disappointing that I guess what happens later on. But we'll get there. So that happens, and she pulls Dexter back inside, and he's like, yo, you're right about Kirk Caldwell being a murderer. He murdered your sister. Go to his property. There's a bunch of bodies underneath his little basement thing, right? So he manages to make her go there, which is okay. At this point, I'm still on board, mind you. She goes, she checks it out, and she actually finds all the bodies of Kurt's victims. And Dexter is sitting there in the jail cell and starts thinking to himself, like, I need to get out of here. Deborah visits him again. She just says a couple stuff to him. And this is the point where the show, or at least this episode, starts to lose me, because as far as I know, Dexter tries his hardest not to hurt innocent people. I'm sure that he has hurt innocent people that I'm not remembering right now. In fact, I remember actually after Rita was killed, he killed that one dude inside of the bathroom. I think it was in season 5. And granted, that guy was kind of a piece of shit. And like, who cares if that guy died? But he was still innocent at the end of the day. And you know, he was a kind of a piece of shit, like I'm saying. But you know, Dexter kind of goes out of his way not to kill innocent people, or he tries to manage to find a way through it. But no. In this episode, Dexter says, yo, I'm thirsty. Can I have a glass of water? Freaking Logan, which is one of the nicest dudes in the show. Such a nice guy. Has done so much for Dexter. Has done so much for his son. Has stood up with Dexter. Has went to got drinks with him. Has given him advice. He is a good friend to Dexter, except in this moment where he has to do his job, right? Dexter calls him over for water, and he manages to get him in a chokehold. And he's like, yo, give me your keys. Don't do anything stupid. Okay? You see Logan, he starts to reach down. He starts to get his keys. At the last second, he goes for his gun. He's like, fuck you. Pulls his gun out, starts shooting behind him, and Dexter snaps his neck. Now, when I saw that, it really upset me. I know that Dexter is a murderer, and that he's, honestly, even though he's one of our favorite characters, he's not a good person. Like, he's done a lot of messed up stuff, and a lot of innocent people have suffered because of him. But it was just such an unlikable thing that freaking Logan died that way. That it was just like, I snapped your neck now, you're dead. And even before that, Dexter slams his face into the bars, which, like, okay. And I get that, like, Dexter's cornered. He's going to do whatever he needs to do to get out of it. But it just felt, something about it felt very, very nasty. And I think my girlfriend, when we were watching, she mentioned that you really see the monster that Dexter really is in that moment. Like, you kind of lose sympathy for him at that point. You know, he's done several messed up stuff throughout all the seasons of Dexter. Has done, like, way worse stuff, probably. But for some reason, that just hit at, like, a different level. Like, god damn, Dexter, that was fucked, right? But whatever, I can almost buy it that Dexter had to do that because he needed to get out of there. Okay, whatever. Now, he calls his son to go meet up with him, and kind of skipping forward a little bit here, Dexter's on the run, running through the snow in the woods, and he meets up with Harrison. Harrison has his bag, he has his gun, which at that point when I saw his gun, I knew what was going to happen. At that point, I was like, oh my freaking god, they better not do what I think they're about to do. So Dexter starts talking to his son. He's like, come on, we gotta go. Harrison notices the blood on his face. He's like, oh, whose blood is that? Oh, you called me off of Logan's phone. What did you do to Logan? And he realizes that Logan's dead now because Dexter killed him. So after that, Dexter's like, come on, I need you. I can't live without you. Like, I need you. Come with me. Harrison goes, well, the only way is that if you turn yourself in. Like, it's not going to work any other way. And Dexter straight up goes, okay, I'll go without you. And he gets ready to go and he actually leaves. And Harrison goes, grabs his gun, points it at Dexter, and he says, no, you're not leaving. Like, open your eyes. See what you've done. Like, see all the innocent people that you've hurt. And this is something they tried doing in the original Dexter with the whole open your eyes, Dexter, look at what you've done. That specifically being with him being like the lumberjack and like he has his eyes closed and he opens them. Like, that's what they were going for. And this was a scene that I did like where Dexter thinks about all the innocent people he's hurt, like Deborah, Rita, Dokes, LaGuerta, all the people that didn't need to die but did die because of him. And he realizes at that moment, like, you're right. Like, I'm a fucked up person. And, in order for you to live a normal life, my life needs to end, essentially. And he tells his son, like, you know what to do. Take the gun off safety, or take the safety off the gun. Breathe. Pointed at me right here. He even points at himself and he says, shoot me. And Harrison does. He shoots him, and Dexter falls down and dies, essentially. And, okay, this is where I'm going to discuss all my issues with this ending. It's not the fact that Dexter dies. It's not the fact that he kind of, I don't know. It really is not the fact that Dexter died, but it was one of the things that I just didn't want to happen because it was the most predictable possible ending. When this series first began and I saw Harrison was coming back, the first thing I said was, oh my God, please don't make it where Harrison kills Dexter at the end. I don't want that. Like, I don't think that'd be a satisfying ending, but we can see how they do it. And the way they executed it, I didn't think they did it very well. Like, I get that Harrison's going to be angry about Logan, but Harrison has a dark side too, and out of nowhere, he's like, wants justice? Like, you've been relating to your father, you know what's going on. It just doesn't make a whole lot of narrative sense to me at this point. I think killing Dexter off, like I said, isn't necessarily the issue, but I do think it is the easy way out for this character. I had the same issue with the Breaking Bad ending, and Breaking Bad is my favorite show of all time. But in that ending, I said that I thought Heisenberg, Walter White, should have paid for his actions more than just death, right? Dexter is literally a serial killer. To me, it would have been more impactful if he got arrested and we saw him go to prison and, really have to live with what he's done and open his eyes to everything and suffer the real consequences. Like, to have everyone know who Dexter really was. And I guess at the end of this, they do too, but we don't really even see that. And another thing, going back a little bit, another thing that was super infuriating is, why would you set up the return of Batista to have this confrontation with Dexter? Something we've all been wanting and craving. And, why would you do that and not follow through? Not even give us the smallest scene with them together. Oh, I guess Batista's just going to arrive the next day and Dexter's going to be dead. Like, that was pretty upsetting because you have this perfect layup. You just gotta take it and run with it. And what do? They don't do it. Like, why even bring Batista back at that point? Why? You could have just left him out of the episode. Why tease us that way? And here's another issue I have with this ending. It like everything just went so wrong for him to get to this point. Like, Dexter had a very, very believable story for why Kurt may have set him up. And even, like I said, Logan said that the court might not even believe them. And okay, Angela has all this stuff about the Bay Harbor Butcher, but at the same time, that may not even hold up either. So the fact that Dexter decides, like, yo, I'm going to escape, I'm going to run away, and, you know, they're going to find out I'm guilty because, you know, I killed Logan. Like, the fact that he goes through all that seems so illogical to me. I don't believe that's something Dexter would actually do. He would be way smarter than that. And at the end, he basically just says, yep, me. It was me. Now I'm on the run. It just didn't feel natural, and it didn't feel like it fit, right? So, I don't know. And then, this is kind of nitpicking, but I kind of didn't like the way that they shot this ending. At least with Dexter's death, because Harrison's pointing the gun at him and it just goes, poof, and the next scene, Dexter's like, oh, really? That's how you're gonna shoot it very flatly? You could have done it in a more interesting way, but I guess it still gets the same point across. So, like I said, I might just be nitpicking. But for the whole episode, I've been on board up until Dexter kills Logan. Everything after that, I have issues with. Now, there must be a bunch more stuff that I'm forgetting here, and I'm not mentioning because, like I said, my brain is so scattered right now. But if they were going to go this route, if they were going to kill off Dexter by Harrison killing him, shooting him, what I think they should have done is split this episode into 2 separate episodes. Now, the reason I say that is because this ending does feel slightly rushed. Everything after Logan getting killed feels pretty rushed. And we don't really get a lot of time to sit and simmer in what is happening, right? Like, after Dexter kills Logan, he's out on the run for a little bit. He's not even being chased by anybody. He's just trying to go meet his son at this point. I mean, Angela does find out and, like, it's like, oh, yo, we gotta go get some more cop cars, but he's not physically being chased by anyone at this point. He's just gonna meet his son. The reason why they should have split into 2 episodes is you could have had the first entire episode been about what Dexter's going through while Angela has him locked up, right? And the ending of this episode could have been when if you're gonna kill Logan, if he kills Logan at the end of that episode because he really wants to escape and, you know, he gets out and he leaves. If that's the way you're going to go about it. I still kind of don't like it, but I would understand it if you did it that way. The next episode could have just been a full-on manhunt for Dexter. He's just running away, you know, barely escaping law enforcement. Angela's on his ass. And you could have paid off that Batista stuff with this episode with Batista showing up and helping with the manhunt. How awesome would that have been for Batista to be on this manhunt looking for Dexter? But yeah, and what you also could have had in this episode is just a lot more build up to Dexter realizing what he's done and the damage that he's caused. You could have really gone into that, make it punch home a lot more than it did. And I feel like at the end of that episode too, if you're going to make Harrison kill Dexter, you could have it build up a little more. Like maybe Harrison does decide to go with him, but he's slowly realizing how messed up his dad really is. And maybe at some point they get cornered by Batista and Angela and whoever else is there. And Harrison has to make a choice at that point of like, who am I going to side with here? Maybe he has his gun out and he's aiming it, doesn't know who to aim at, and maybe he aims it at Dexter at the end, and Dexter knows that he's the one to go. Maybe he comes to the same realization he did earlier, and maybe that's when Harrison shoots him. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good ending, but I think it'd be better than what we got. Uh, man, I cannot believe like how disappointed I feel by this episode. This season had so much potential to be great, and it was great in a lot of aspects. But the fact that I feel disappointed with the Dexter ending for the second time is insane to me. I don't know. I don't know how to feel right now. Like, on the one hand, I did like the episode, at least the like midway stuff. And on the other hand, I don't enjoy it because of the ending. It's bittersweet. You know, I'm happy we got more Dexter, but I hate to see it. I hate to see its potential be squandered and be something that I don't like. Now, like I said, not all of it's bad. I do like the whole aspect of Dexter being like, oh, yeah, I opened my eyes. I see all the people I've hurt. I did like the aspect between his little back and forth of Angela and him, you know, talking about, oh, yeah, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher. You killed Matt Caldwell. But in the end, I don't know, I'm disappointed. And this might be crazy to say, but I think I kind of have more of an appreciation for the original Dexter ending in season 8. Not to say that it's better, but I think the concept of Dexter saying, okay, I fucked up royally. Deborah's dead. You know, my son and what's her face are probably better off without me. And he drives off into the storm to essentially die. But he doesn't, and he becomes a lumberjack and has to live with himself, by himself, and he loses everything that he loves. And he has to live with the reason as to why that happened. Although the execution wasn't all that great, I can at least accept that as a good concept. And it's interesting. This season finale with Dexter dying also has a lot of potential, but they squandered it maybe just as bad, in my opinion. I don't know. I do understand Dexter dying is a reasonable thing. He has done a lot of fucked up stuff. But man, how cool would it have been if we saw Dexter get arrested, go to prison, and let's say at the end he's in a lethal injection chair and everyone's there for his execution. Angela, Batista, freaking Masuka, like a couple other people from the original series, and they're all there like, you're the one that freaking killed all these people. You're the Bay Harbor Butcher, not Dokes. Yeah, you deserve to die. And he gets killed. You know, if you're gonna kill him, maybe that would have been better. Like I said, I'm not a freaking scientist storyteller, but I think that may have been slightly better, and I might be wrong. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. If I had to rate this season overall, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. This season finale, probably, I keep getting messages, my bad. I would probably give it like a 5 out of 10. Like, I don't know. I kind of want to go lower, but I understand that some people will be happy with this ending. Therefore, I'm going to give it like that even decent score. But yeah, man, this is not what I wanted. If it's what you liked, if you like this, let me know in the comments down below. Hell, if you would have liked to seen something different, let me know that too in the comments down below. But I don't know. Bittersweet. I'm glad we got more Dexter. I just wish it ended differently. But enough of my ranting. I know I've been bitching this entire time, and I probably have made a lot of you guys think that I hate this show. I don't, or at least this season. I don't hate it. I actually like it. I just don't like the ending. And, you know, to each their own. But anyways, guys, these have been my thoughts on Dexter New Blood. Let me know what you guys thought about this season down in the comments below, and whether you liked this season finale. With that being said, guys, that's about all I have to say on this subject. If you guys want to talk more about it, let me know. Want me to go more in details with stuff, let me know that too. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time, hopefully. And I hope you guys have a great night.